I'm Tim Zajkowski. The premise of this show is simple. I have conversations with entertainers that no one's ever heard of. I'll be shooting the breeze with actors, directors, writers, comedians, athletes, musicians. Simple entertainment. Hi, welcome to Anybody Who Ain't Anybody. My name's Tim Zajkowski. Today's show will be a little different. We decided to do it from the road. We're in my van. A friend of mine, Kevin Kramus, is on camera. The headlining comic for the gig this evening, Ben Creed, sitting next to me. We're shooting the breeze, driving to the gig. Hope you enjoy the show. The lights are going to hit us like this. We decided to cover our eyes, close our eyes, so we wouldn't get blinded. And at the last second, as I was going like this, I saw a full-grown mountain lion run away from the road because of this car. We were walking straight into this mountain lion. We get back to the campsite after maybe 15 more minutes. We sit down in the sand, open up the cooler, and there you go, there you go. Man, didn't say anything to each other for about 15 minutes.
Did she see the mountain lion too?
And then that's what she said. She goes, "Did you see that mountain lion?" Yeah. And that was the last thing we talked about. You know, to us it was just another moment in our adventure. You know. You got a favorite place you ever been?
To do comedy or just traveling in general?
Just traveling.
Just for travel's sake? I don't know.
Yeah.
I stayed in St. Thomas for 6 months once.
Really?
I went out there to work. Yeah, I fell in love with this girl, and the guy who owned the club loved me, and he told me to stick around, you know, just do a bunch of weeks there. But
You ever been? How much time you spent? Have you been in Europe? Spent much time?
no, I've been to Canada, and I've been to Mexico and the Caribbean and Hawaii and Alaska. Alaska was another beautiful place.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never been to Europe, never done any, you know, serious traveling.
Yeah.
Been everywhere in the United States you can think of, everywhere.
Now, what got you up to Alaska?
I guess I was 19 or 20 years old, probably 19, and there was a strip club up there that booked comedy, and I guess what they would do is they would have the strip club go on, and then at 8 o'clock they'd empty out the place, and all the couples lined up outside would come in, and they'd do a 2-hour comedy show, and then after that they'd go back to strip club. Because, you know, there's really nothing up there. It was Anchorage.
Right.
I get out of the club that night. I go in there. There's 20, 30 naked women in my dressing room. You know, it was great. I was 19 years old.
Well,
This is
man,
great,
that's
man.
seven.
Horrible shows, though. You know what I mean? They had, "Fuck you, faggot." You know, they don't want to hear comedy. Show, where's the pussy? You know? And I get out, and the guy goes, "Okay," and he puts his big coat on me because he sees I don't really have. I mean, I had like a Levi jacket or something. I didn't have any. Wasn't prepared for it. Big blizzard, so they had a trailer maybe 100 yards away from the club out in the back of the property where the strippers would live or spend the night or whatever. And it was the snow was so bad, the blizzard was so bad you couldn't drive back to the hotel. So they had a big nylon rope from the trailer to the side of the club. And you'd walk out, and I forget what those things are called. They're like a clip for mountain climbing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Piton, whatever the thing is. You hook it onto your belt, and then you hook it onto the rope, and just start walking until you bump into the trailer, because you couldn't see 2 feet in front of your hands. So I'm walking, I'm freezing my balls off. I finally get to the trailer, and, you know, bang on the door. 2 girls open it up in rows. There's like 5, 6 strippers in there. They're all, you know, getting high, and it's all toasty warm. I'm like, oh, this is great. Sleeping on a couch with all these women. It's great.
Who's your some of your comedic inspirations? Who do you like starting out as a kid?
Oh, when I was a kid? Jesus. Well, there's a ton of guys. I mean, you know.
Ton of guys. Absolutely.
Fryer and Carlin and Steve Martin. I mean, watching films, you know, the Marx Brothers.
Yes.
And, you know, that kind of stuff. But I mean, as far as actual comics that I've worked with, you know, nameless guys that you wouldn't know, guys just the ones I started off with that I thought were funny, that made me laugh. Nobody really big right now, you know what I mean? I mean, after you do it for a living for a while, you get a little, I'm funny, you But I don't really see anybody out there right now. I mean, I think Dave Chappelle is funny as hell.
Dave Chappelle is amazing.
Just very funny. Jon Stewart and those guys. The news show, the Daily Show. But as far as stand-up goes, just I'd have to watch a guy and tell you. You know, I don't really have any favorites right now. I used to love watching Bill Hicks, Kennison.
Oh, yeah. You ever meet Kennison?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you did?
I started off this little club in L.A. in Encino. And, he used to come in all the time. And they'd have the show in the main room, and then we'd have the open mic night in the bar. I brought him up a couple times. Then you see him, you know, get rich and famous, and it's the same stuff he was doing then that people were walking out, you know.
Oh, yeah. And that's interesting.
Yeah, you just think it's the same stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know, people say, what made you go into comedy, or when did you decide? I always wanted to do it ever since I was a little kid, and I can't even pinpoint the exact time I decided, but the first time I actually went on a real stage was my 16th birthday at the Comedy Store in L.A. I always looked a few years older, so I got, I could get in. But I was doing it in high school and doing shows for the senior class and all that stuff. Sketch shows, do like 10-minute monologue and then sketches, and
Yeah.
like a live stage thing. But I guess my biggest influences when I was a kid, listening to Bill Cosby and Carlin and Pryor and Monty Python. I love Monty Python. That was the funniest shit in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, they pulled off, they did things that you can't even believe you were watching.
Well, a lot of people say, oh, that's silly stuff. All these guys, like John Cleese is a barrister,
Yeah.
or was a barrister, and Graham Chapman was a surgeon, and, all these guys are like Oxford, and
Right. Classically
Yeah.
trained and
and
educated.
even the silly stuff just made me laugh,
Yeah, yeah. I was interviewing earlier Steve Brewer last night, and he brought up, I said, who was some of your inspirations? He said Lenny Bruce and Bob Newhart. Now, Bob Newhart, when he said it, pops in as somebody that just made me laugh. The phone skits and the different
Yeah.
things like that just made me laugh, and it's really easy to forget about Bob.
No, but see, Bob Newhart, guys like that, they basically stopped really doing stand-up, except for maybe Vegas or something, when I was young. So it wasn't somebody I was watching. Lenny Bruce is a huge influence on me, but I never saw him live.
Right.
I've seen all the clips and heard all the albums and stuff. That was an influence. But as far as watching guys,
Yeah. See, with me, maybe I'm older than you.
How old are you?
53.
You're older.